three major events within 1 week of each other, and we need to talk about this because I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's start
Out of the
with
three, okay, let's X out Conor McGregor, right? Because obviously, if any I say you're more excited about any of the other fights, you're lying. But like, how excited are all of you for Leon Edwards and Hamzat?
yo
Great
low
fight.
key. Low key, I'm more excited about that fight probably than any other fight that I'm expected to see this year.
I
Like low
am
key.
so fucking excited because I feel like Hamzat is gonna finally make Leon fight. You know, Leon is an excellent fighter. Obviously, he's obviously boring, you know, generally, but he does his thing. He wins. But Hamzat's gonna put that work in on him.
You're right.
I got a feeling.
You're right. But I think because of that, people are going to stop seeing Leon as some kind of boring guy. This
100%.
dude is like, this dude is legit. So people are going to see in him being cornered to like be entertaining for the first time instead of being like safe the whole time. So it's going to be a great fight.
So my thought process is that I've been had Leon Edwards winning that fight. I think we spoke about that one time, and I said I think he actually could potentially finish him, but we got to see how is he post COVID. This whole like crazy weight loss and real bad sickness that his body felt with it.
Yeah,
we don't know what Leon's going to show up. You know,
I'm curious to see how you have Leon Edwards beating Hamzat. Like, how would he finish him?
I would say submission.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere throughout the fight. I won't say fast or slow. I really don't know. Again, I like to wait till that like the day before. I don't know if it's the Wednesday card or one of the Saturday cards. I don't know. I think it's one of the Saturday cards. But it's that face off the night before that I really start mashing out my predictions and stuff like that, because it's like that whole body language deal. Because you could see like a guy looking like Vanderlei Silva on steroids a week before, and then during the face-offs,
yeah.
he
Wait,
during the
you tell me
face-off
he
he
did
looks like
steroids?
Ben Askren, you know?
You tell me he did
So-
steroids? I never heard that. There's two other good fights on that card too. I think we got Chiesa on that card as well. And then you got what's his name? Carlos Conduit versus Matt Brown.
It's Condit.
Interesting
Chris.
fight.
Stop
Condit.
calling him conduit.
Conduit. I'm just trying to improve my lexicon, my man.
Interesting fight.
Yo, y'all know Natural Born Killer's my guy, so I'm super hyped for that fight. Super hyped.
That's actually that's not a bad matchup for him because he was fighting a lot of like newer fighters who like were the evolution of MMA. So now he gets to kind of go back. Both of them kind of get a chance to go back in their glory and like fight kind of like a even matchup. And I feel like that favors Carlos Condit, because Carlos Condit was like probably like, I thought talent wise he was like the best of that era, like in the welterweight talent wise.
He was. I really thought he was going to beat GSP. I had a feeling, but I was shying away from his really weak takedown defense. That's always going to be his Achilles heel. He has horrible takedown defense. It's always going to be there, unfortunately.
And what do you guys think about? I was going to say Chiesa at welterweight. That should be interesting because we've seen him had some success there.
Who's he fighting on that card?
That's a good question.
Is it RDA?
No, he's not fighting RDA. I think
No,
he's just
Chiesa?
fighting some no-name guy.
No. Chiesa has an opponent. I
believe he's fighting someone we know.
100%. I just my mind is missing right now. I'm trying to look it up right now. Where is my other?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, my thing with Chiesa, I don't think he's. I mean, he's a really good He's a pretty good wrestler. He has great jiu-jitsu, but that welterweight division is filled with like killers, like in all areas.
Okay, so he's fighting Neil Magny.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's an interesting fight. That's an actual interesting fight.
That's an excellent fight.
I think Neil Magny is gonna get him on that one though.
Yeah.
Like Neil Magny has looked brilliant these days. Like crazy volume, crazy overall, like everything.
That's one of those that can go either way, but as a betting man, I'd bet on Neil Magny.
Yeah, same here.
As of now. We gotta wait till the stand. But right now I'll bet Neil Magny, 100%. But that's a very even fight though.
Wow.
Two young cats that have like a similar kind of pedigree kind of deal. It's gonna be interesting.
I mean, I think Neil has like a super like striking advantage, like over.
Big time.
Like, you saw the way he looked against Robbie?
Yeah.
Like, that was just disgusting.
I mean, I think that Neil Magny is going to be able to neutralize everything Chiesa has for him. So I don't think that Chiesa is going to be able to implement any part of his game. But we'll see. We'll see.
Listen, Neil has put down some former champions. You got Robbie, you got Big Rig back in the day. He could get the win.
Unless we forget, and I don't care what anybody says, Big Rig beat GSP. I don't give a fuck what those judges come across and say.
Yeah. I can see that. Can see that.
I mean, I don't think he would have won another fight after that, to be honest. But that was his like shining moment, and they stole that from him. I almost cried when he fell to the mat and started crying because he couldn't win a fucking decision. I was literally in the living room almost crying. It was crazy. I felt for him. He didn't lose that fight.
John has a sensitive side.
Oh yeah, I'm a major crier, bro. I cry at movies. I watched that. I got the Instagrams, the Dodo. They do these animal stories. I'm just in bed crying like a bitch before work.
It's a great way to start your day,
right? God, we're so sick.
Yeah.
So who has Hamza winning? I know Jem got Leon winning, right?
Yeah, Leon all the way.
Yeah, I have Hamza. I'm on the Hamza trainer. I'm on the Hamza train.
I think Chris got Hamza. Look at him.
Yeah. I'm on the
going
hype
to
train.
smash him.
I'm fully on the hype train.
Listen, it's possible that Hamza is that good. It's possible that he's
100%.
going to just go out and just wash Leon the first round. It's possible, but I have to go on. The veteran, the full skill set Leon has. Very smart fighter, very high fight IQ. Like, I have to go on that, but I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens.
But let me also make it clear: the reason why I'm so blatantly choosing Leon is because, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen Hamzat's wrestling tested yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
We haven't
seen his wrestling tested. You said?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm not worried about that area of his game. That's the one part of his game that I'm not worried about at all. Because he's like,
why?
Because he's like a Khabib type. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has that same type of vibe and same type of I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But Leon is that good in that department. So it's like, is he gonna take Hamzat down? We don't know who the hell Hamzat is on his back. So that's why I can't readily choose him right now. I'm not blatantly choosing Leon and saying like he's going. Like, I'm with Jem that Hamzat could absolutely win this fight, absolutely finish him, and I hope he does because I don't like Leon. But I just think it's not that I don't like him; he's his boy. I just, I'm when it comes to facing a legit wrestler your first time, I have trouble betting on you. Just like with Ngannou and Stipe.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. Ngannou's just sending everyone to the shadow realm every day. And then Stipe shuts his shit down so easily. It's just so crazy. So
that rematch should be interesting.
Oh man.
That's on the books, right? Stipe and Ngannou.
They need to get it together, man. I think it's slated for March or May, they said. I think March.
I hope so.
It's not signed. Nothing's signed yet. Nothing's signed. But they're supposedly they're in talks now.
I could see that going differently. I think Ngannou is going to knock him out and not blow his load in the first round.
That was an amazing metaphor.
For real, like, damn, you couldn't find anything
blow his load.
Listen, we all watched that first fight. We all saw what happened.
Yeah. But I mean, Francis is a lot more mature now. He's been through, now he knows much better. I think that Stipe is going to stall as long as he can. To avoid fighting Francis.
100%. Who the fuck wouldn't? I don't care if you beat him before. You saw like the man was so open and honest about like the fear that Stipe brought in him in fighting, which was amazing. You know, like he just stalled on Derek Lewis, and like he had this weird fear. And then he would just went into a fight and said, you know what, let me just go back to the basics. Let me kill this person. And then maybe I'll feel better. And then he's killed everybody since. And I feel like and I think he has been really working on his takedown defense.
Yeah, same here.
Because I don't think he's working on his wrestling in general. They always do, obviously. I don't think he's trying to become a wrestler. Mm-hmm. I think the key to beating a wrestler when you're not a wrestler is your takedown defense. Straight up. Yeah. Look at Izzy. Izzy's not a wrestler. But try to take that motherfucker down.
Even Joanna as well. Yeah. Same with Joanna.
Yes.
Joanna and Jacek, you know, her defense is incredible. Incredible.
And thank you for saying her name correctly. For some reason, nobody can say it correctly. Chris, say her last name.
Joanna Young Jacek. Oh, yeah, it's close enough.
Young Jacek.
I was a big fan of Joanna. I mean, I'm still a fan of her. You know, me and her are both Leos. She's the animal. So, but speaking of Joanna,
you saw her recent thong pics on the beach.
I did.
She's chilling with the Brazilians too much. Yeah, she's like, oh, shit.
I mean, Joanna gained some weight too, so it makes me wonder, like, is she trying to go up and fight? You know, it makes me wonder, like, why is she putting on so many muscles? And who knows?
I hope not. If what Tiny Whaley did that to her, she don't want to move up to no.
You said tiny? That girl is jacked.
Yeah, but she's also like 4'11". You know, I'm just saying she's tiny.
She's real ripped.
I love Whaley. I'm a major Whaley fan. I love her.
Oh man,
it should be interesting because Whaley is fighting what's her name, Rose next, and then
that's a good
depending
fight.
on how that goes, I could watch another like a rematch with Joanna because I think that was fight of the year. That was such an epic fight.
Yeah,
agree. I think Joanna should fight someone before that. I don't think she should just go right back into it. But
yeah.
Wait,
Chris.
Chris. Yeah. We were saying like, what was who do you think had the fight of the year between Joanna and Whaley or Moreno and what's this guy's name? Figueiredo.
You know, I think I still got to give it to Whaley and Joanna because Whaley turned into a space alien in that 5th round. I mean, watching her just take punches in that orbital blowout and then just keep returning fire. I got to say that's fight of the year.
That orbital blowout.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She turned her into a space alien, man, and she kept throwing.
A space alien.
Yeah, she looked like that alien from American Dad.
American Dad. Roger.
She did.
That's accurate.
She did.
You know, I have to agree. I think that even though Brandon and Figueiredo was a great fight, but I mean, I wouldn't argue if someone says that fight is fight of the year either. You know, I wouldn't argue that. But Joanna and Whaley, all 5 rounds, incredible fight. The entire fight, all 5 rounds. So I have to give it to that fight as well.
Yeah, I was hot off the Figueiredo fight when we first spoke about it, but the heart that was shown in that fight, it was just like, it was crazy. Yeah. It was just, I don't think you could beat that fight this year. I think it has to win.
Yeah.
Who's fighter of the year, guys?
Fighter of the year. All right, for me personally, I say Kevin Holland, but I wouldn't be mad if someone said Figueiredo.
Yeah.
So.
Or Hamza.
Nah, the reason why I gave it to both of them over Hamza is because Figueiredo, I think he fought like 4 times this year.
He did.
4 times this year, and then those were all like title defenses, like title fights.
Yeah.
So that's insane for a champion.
That's unheard of. Yeah, and he broke the record between.
Right, 3 of those were finishes. 3 of those were finishes, and then 1 of those was like a potential fight of the year. Yeah. But then you got Kevin Holland. He had like 5? He had 5 wins, and like he was spectacular. Like in all of those. So.
I think you know why I would give it to Kevin Holland over Figueiredo is because Kevin Holland wasn't expected to do what he did.
Yeah,
Figueiredo was expected to whoop everybody's ass.
So is that like breakout fighter? Is there? I think there's an award for that. Like
there is a breakout fighter. Yeah, but that's why I was going to bring Hamzat back into this conversation.
Okay,
I feel like Hamzat could be a candidate for that one.
A breakout fighter.
Yeah. because he just
Okay.
came out of fucking nowhere and was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, I'm like Khabib, I'm going to smash everybody, and fucking doesn't. And then
Yeah.
fought again a week later and dropped 15 pounds to do that fight.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Impressive.
Like that.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Give that Russian bastard his respect, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I got Kevin Holland as fight of the year, personally. I love Figueiredo. I love what he's done. I just feel like when you add that extra oomph of like, holy shit, that wasn't expected. And then you add like the story of how Dana didn't even want him because he talked too much. And it just turns out that that's part of his fucking fighting game. He just won from taking the nigga's mind off of punching the shit out of him. Like fucking Jacare cracked his shit. He tells him, hey, I dreamed about this, makes him laugh, and then whack. Like it was part of his game. The same thing that was keeping Dana from taking him is part of his game. I think just that there's too much there.
That's why I have to pick him as well, because that just shows you that being yourself will pay off regardless. No matter what anyone says, being yourself will always pay off in the long run, and that's what he showed as well. And not only that, but we always knew he had the potential to be a great fighter and finisher. We always knew that, but to see him actually live up to that finally is great to see.
Because a lot of people don't know, low key, he beat Jeff Neal. And when you look at that fight, like if they were in some kind of other organization, when you look at that fight, it was really impressive the way he beat Jeff Neal. Like he actually finished him.
Oh yeah.
Have y'all watched that fight?
I didn't watch it, but I saw the finish actually.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that's a puzzle. Because when he's fighting Jeff Neal, you could tell Jeff Neal is just having trouble with him because he's just so random. It's just so like fluid. So yeah, he's definitely living up to what he was supposed to be.
Do we know what gym he fights out of? That I don't know. Because I'm thinking about like his type of charisma, personality, and his very freestyle fighting that he kind of does. Like he's kind of freestyle. That's important to have a good mind behind that. Like John Jones has with his trainers. John Jones is super creative, and they know how to tap into that. They know how to say, let's teach him the fundamentals and then let him do his shit on top of it. That's not an easy thing to do with a person that's all over the place like that. That's not a tactician kind of like Valentina. Right, Valentina, you know what you're getting with Valentina. She's a tactician. Whereas like Kevin Holland is going to talk shit, jump around and do crazy shit. Or like Michelle Pajeda, like, people like that have these fighting personalities. How do you keep that,
I would love to see him with Trevor Whitman personally. Trevor Whitman is like because TJ Dillashaw had a very, developed his freestyle. You know what I'm saying? And with Trevor Whitman, I feel like he was able to develop that and solidify it.
But TJ changed the game with Dwayne Ludwig, though. Dwayne Ludwig took him over the top.
Wow. So when you look at the other fighters from his gym, they all have more losses than wins, and they're a bunch of like bums. So he's the only guy who's standing out from that gym.
What's the name of the
gym? It's called the hell. PHALANX MMA Academy. Yeah. And he's the only one who's like somebody from that gym. Wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
I think TJ's a good example.
By the way, I meant to say Dwayne Ludwig, like not Trevor Whitman.
I know.
No, TJ's a good example because he paired up with Lance Armstrong when we saw how well that went with him. So you gotta get Lance in the corner. He'll have cardio for days.
Oh man! Speaking of Dillashaw, how did Mr. EPO? How is he calling out fighters now when he's like just coming back from?
No. Hold on, Jem. He ain't calling people out. People calling him out. Don't get it twisted. He went on Twitter and he was like, isn't it funny how everybody's calling me out? He's like, because everybody knows that's my belt. Nobody ever took that belt from me. And he's right. He took the EPO shit because he couldn't get down to 125. Right? It is what it is. He didn't want to call out the fight. Henry Cejudo was talking too much shit. He had to make it. He was like, fuck it. I got to do something about this. So
who's he fighting? Who do you think TJ's fighting for his return?
That's tough, man. Everybody keeps saying Uriah Faber, but
nah.
Why?
He'll probably fight Aldo just for the name.
I love
the name
Aldo
value.
I love it. Because
name
don't know
Aldo
value
could
about
be
is crazy.
Aldo's easily could be considered a top 5, top 3 right now, and
Yeah.
that's
I
what TJ
heard-
needs to come back to. If not the
So-
belt, it has to be a number 1 contender fight. That's his fucking belt. He never got popped for anything at bantamweight. It was just when he tried to kill himself to go down to 125 to prove a point for some dumbass reason. So it's like
So
that's his belt in my eyes. So I'm ready for that. I don't care. I like Aldo. I like that a lot. If not the belt, I like Aldo. I think they're both big names and they'll do real. That's a fucking hell of a fight, bro. Hell of a fight.
so
I
I
like it.
heard.
I feel
I
like
heard
that fight.
Hold on.
Sorry.
We have news from Colombia, people.
Yeah, fresh in from Colombia. I heard whispers there that Aldo's fighting Cody next.
I heard that too.
Yeah,
I heard
that's
that
the
too.
fight I heard's coming next. I like it. Listen, I like
I think
it.
that's,
a dope
bad.
fight.
I think that's a bad matchup for Cody.
Oh, big time. Oh man, the speed and power of Aldo.
Oh my God. I don't want to be this guy, but I think Cody will finish Aldo.
Really?
The way Cody's looked lately, I know I fucking hate him, but he's looked
No, but he-
amazing lately.
That was one knockout. Let me see. A Sunsao, Aldo. I don't know. I think Aldo has the I don't think Cody's chin is gonna hold up against Aldo.
Yeah.
Even if it's for a round.
Right, and also the pressure as well that the Aldo fights with sometimes, the body strikes, the leg kicks. Like Jose Aldo looked really good in his last fight. He looked really
Jose
sharp
looks
in his last fight.
amazing. He looks. I thought he was gonna look horrible at bantamweight. You know, they made a documentary about this man cutting to 145, almost killing himself, and he was 10 pounds
Yeah.
down.
yeah.
I thought he was gonna die, and he looks better than ever. It's crazy. I don't know. All I know is that Aldo doesn't have much time left. He can't keep doing that to his body at that age, so he has to get a title shot soon. He has to. If not, the next fight is going to be the fight. His next fight is either a title fight or a number 1 contender fight. So there's no better opponent for him than TJ Dillashaw. Period. It could be Cody too, because Cody was going to fight for the title. So they're both great fights. But as far as from like a marquee value in a sense, I don't know. If Cody was already going to get the title shot, I mean, who else is at bantamweight at the top right now? Besides, Royval. You could give Cody Royval.
Wait,
Now you got to give him Aljamain.
Aljamain. That's the other guy I was talking about. Yeah.
He's got to get the next title shot. I think he's got it.
Sanhagen. Yeah. He should get the title shot, and then should be Sanhagen or something.
Who?
Aljamain should be to get the next title shot, which he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
And
But
then
isn't it going to be Yeah, Aljamain. Yeah. Aljamain should go, and then TJ Dillashaw should fight.
Corey Sanhagen's also in the top as well.
Sanhagen and Cody sounds like a great fucking fight too.
Oh man, Cody will get
That'd be a good
smoked on
fight.
that one.
Yeah.
I personally think Cody will get smoked on that one.
I love how y'all got no faith in Cody. I love it. Let's talk about this more. No,
Oh boy, you know what? Now we are almost out of time. We have to discuss Ben Askren versus Jake Paul.
well, we could do the break thing and we could keep going if y'all want.
Yeah,
Because we haven't even talked. The King is coming back. We haven't even talked about El Rey. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's do it.
How much time we got left on this one?
8 minutes.
We got time.
All right, cool.
Time, yeah.
So Jake Paul and Ben Askren.
Why Ben Askren? He's the least exciting person on the planet. Why is he representing MMA?
So
That is the dumbest possible fight. I'm not going to watch it.
That's exactly what I was gonna. The last time we spoke about this, we kept saying like the whole I guess like thing we want to see if this circus is going to continue is an actual ambassador of MMA that has hands to go and murk this kid. Ben Askren.
But I will say this: Ben Askren does have some finishes with his hands. Early on in his career,
With his hands. That's about as technical as he is. He's like, I finished people with my hands.
You worry me sometimes, Jen. You know this, right?
but like,
Actually, no, I agree. I really do. I think Ben Askren, I think he has more fundamentals in boxing than the YouTube star Jake Paul.
I don't know how to
Have you watched that? I mean, have you watched his fight against Damian Maia?
God, I fall asleep every time. I haven't gotten through it yet.
Okay, you know what though? Okay, so one thing he has going for him is that like that war ready mentality. You know, being an Olympian, he has that more than Nate Robinson, who's a ball player. Maybe he gets good enough in these 3 months that he's decent enough to like hang.
Can I be real? Can I be real?
Yeah.
I think it's a first round knockout for Jake Paul, and then he's potentially going to move on to the amazing Dylan Dennis, and then that's probably going to be like a second or third round knockout, and then we're probably going to be throwing up in our mouths enough that he might get a person with hands. You know?
Yeah.
I like how he puts it though. I give Jake Paul his props is that he says like he's gonna fight this stupid ass and then Conor McGregor's the boss fight. I love how he put that, you know, because he wants to fight Conor last because he knows he's gonna lose that fight. He knows he is.
Yeah.
And that's why he'll end on that. I'll make the biggest payday, get my ass whooped, and then retire in the Hamptons somewhere and have a blast. Go back to YouTube.
But the thing is, the narrative's gonna be you guys had to get your most boss fighter to beat the YouTube star. That's cool. That's what the narrative is gonna be, and that
yes,
shit pisses
it
me
is.
off.
With the yeah, you're right. That's why when when they said like Ben Askren, like I'm gonna give you like if I were having sex, I would have went completely flaccid. Once I heard that. That's how I felt about that fucking information. I'm not excited about it. I think it's stupid. I think it's irresponsible of Ben Askren to embarrass us like this. But we're gonna move on from this. We're gonna look at this like the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're gonna move on from this.
Yeah, I would rather see Bruce Leroy, who's smaller, box Jake Paul.
So whoever said it earlier, I think it was Chris. I was so much more for Dana White's plan and just have Amanda Nunes go in there. I would love to see a woman crack this dude and knock his ass out.
The first intergender event. I'm still waiting for it. If it's
Henry Cejudo will be pissed if that happens. You know he will.
No, actually, Amanda's fighting. She's fighting Megan Anderson soon. That should be a homicide.
The Avatar.
That should be a fun homicide to watch. She's got a puncher's chance, I guess.
It's such a bad fight for Megan, bro. It's such a bad fight. Oh my god. I think the only fight really left, if we all assume what's going to happen is she whoops Megan's ass, is it has to be Valentina. Her and Valentina have to fight again.
How about Joanna at bantamweight?
At bantamweight?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't like it.
In my opinion, that'd be a very boring fight.
I don't think boring. I think that's a strong word.
Listen,
But if Tiny Tim did that to Joanna, and we know she's but she's a tiny little one, what is the lioness gonna do to her?
But Amanda Nunes fights very defensive when she's fighting great strikers. She's overly cautious. We saw how she fought Valentina the second fight. That was a very boring fight in my opinion. Amanda kind of just stood back, barely did anything, like kind of waiting for her to come in the whole time, knowing that she could have got pieced up. So,
and Joanna, you got to understand, Joanna's used to moving a lot faster because she's coming from strawweight, and she's one of the most defensively sound women fighters of all time.
That was for Weili.
I mean, Wade, like you said, that's Tiny Tim. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be able to see. I think she'll be able to see Amanda Nunes strikes coming, a lot easier than a Weili Zhang.
And I'm going to say this early too. Mark these words: Weili is going to smoke Rose. Mark these words. Don't forget this podcast. Weili is going to smoke Rose. I will say it even the week of the fight.
I don't know if I can agree with you on that one.
I can see it going either way. I mean, Rose might get she might get sent back to the Shadow Realm like Andrade did to her. Or, maybe she's just more technical and outpoints her. I can see that fight going either way.
I don't know. The problem is Weili Zhang she's pretty damn technical. And she's, she moves like forward just like, what's her name? Andrade. So I don't know. I think that's gonna be a problem. Like the fact that she has so much momentum when she's moving forward. Plus she has, she's defensively sound enough. So I don't know.
Rose has got that good movement though. She's got good footwork. She's got good fundamentals in boxing. I mean, you see
Good for
her
young,
like
yeah.
kind of confuse other girls just with her footwork alone and movement. So
That's
that
the
might be
thing.
too much for Wei Li.
It's too definitive now because Rose stays surprising people. I didn't think she was going to win the title fight. I really didn't think she was going to win that fight, and she won that fight. It's just like
Twice.
I don't know. Rose is one of those things. Is who's going to show up? The person that plants and wants to go vegan, or the killer? We don't know. We don't know who's going to show up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. See, I'm not questioning whether her skill is as good or better than Wei Li Zhang's. It's more so the durability. Like I feel like how much can you? I don't think she could take the amount of damage that Joanna took from Wei Li Zhang.
Are we due for our break?
Yes, guys, we shall be back. Quick break.
Welcome back to the Beauty and Violence Podcast. Here we are again.
The king is back, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back.
The king is back.
I'm assuming you're talking about Connor.
I thought he's talking about Greg Hardy.
There's only one king, baby. Greg Hardy. I hate this guy sometimes.
He's been looking good. We got to talk about him.
Oh man! Speaking of
what do you think? They should allow asthma pumps in between rounds, boys?
Let's take a moment to talk about how incredibly sad it was to see him get finished and give up like that on the ground. The dude looked like he was about to die of a heart attack, an asthma attack.
It was bad, bro.
He gave up. He gave up.
I was genuinely concerned. I was like, yo, this is not like he's giving up because he doesn't have a will to fight. This man cannot breathe.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to get in.
Oh man.
He should just only have no contest his whole career and just use the the inhaler between rounds. Like he never wins, but he gets to fight anyway. Just like 45 no contest. At least it lets him breathe. You know what I mean?
He's like 9-3 and 72. Huh? Oh my God. That'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. Oh my Lord.
So let's get back to the man of the hour, Conor McGregor.
You know what fucks me up about Conor McGregor is that like I'll be the first to tell you I talk a lot of shit about this cat because he pisses me off. Like he messes with you. It's like you ever seen that commercial with the guy with the fishing rod? He's like, you almost got it. That's how I feel like with Conor McGregor. He drives me fucking insane, but I can't. I love the bastard. I can't lie. I am a super fan. Like, no matter how bad he does, once they announce his fight, I'm giddy. I'm like skipping through the streets, It's just like I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this because I was excited about the Donald Cerrone fight, even though I knew he was going to win that. I just didn't know he was going to win like that. But I knew he was going to win that. But it's because this is a fight. This is not the same dude he finished.
It's not.
Feather. This ain't that guy, bro. This is a guy whose boxing has gone to another level. His takedown defense is way better. He's stronger. He's thicker. He's everything. And it's just this is a good. I don't know. I feel like Conor's gonna win. I just it's hard to bet against him unless he's fighting Khabib. But I don't know. Do y'all think it's like a landslide victory for Conor, or anybody thinks Poirier legitimately think Poirier's gonna win this?
Yep. I honestly think if the odds are like plus 1,000 for Conor, I am putting $100 on Poirier to win.
They're not going. They're not.
All right.
Not the Poirier.
I would hope, but yeah, it's not going to be. But listen, man, Poirier, he's even more durable. I don't see Conor being able to do the same game plan he had the first time and just knock him out. Like Conor basically knocked out a kid in the last fight. You know, a teenager.
But Conor was a kid too.
Conor was a kid too. You're right, but Poirier, the hunger, the durability he's shown, the toughness he's shown, the tenacity against Gaethje, against Alvarez, against Hooker. Like, this is a whole different fighter right now. You're talking about
100%, totally, completely different fighter.
And then the thing is, Conor, I don't believe that Conor can get away with the same things he did earlier, like against people like Max and Poirier, where you know, where he'll do the cocky thing where he'll just have his hands down and like move forward on these guys. And I feel like he was ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like at that time, I think right now he's gonna have to be, you know, a lot tighter. Like, you're not gonna just run up on him like Donald Cerrone. You're not gonna do you're not gonna do this thing with your hands down. Like, and what's his name is more durable. Dustin Poirier is more durable at this point.
You don't think he's gonna keep those hands down? I promise you, he is.
No. I'm talking about like I don't know if he could taunt. Like, if he could taunt what's his name, a guy like Max Holloway or Dustin Poirier right now.
He can. If anybody can be taunted, it's Dustin Poirier. You know why? Because he's a nice guy. Nice guys are easy to get in their head. And who does that better than fucking Conor McGregor?
See, all right. I see it going down like this. I honestly think Dustin's going to win, but I want Conor to win. I'm going to be honest. I think Conor, he has too much money. I don't think he has the motivation. I think the lifestyle is really catching up with him. He's knocking old men out at bars, throwing dollies. He's famous. He wants to box Pacquiao.
Listen, that old guy deserved it, right?
Hey, listen, he took a punch too. We should have him in the octagon next.
For real, right? Have him commentate Conor's fight. Why not?
But yeah, I think Dustin is the more rounded fighter. I think he's hungrier. I think the amount of improvement we've seen since their last fight, I think Dustin's going to smoke him. I think Conor's going to gas, and then he's going to go and do coke after he loses the fight. But
smoke.
But I want Conor to win though, because he's the most entertaining.
You see, I said the same thing y'all said. Dustin is a whole different level than he was before. But like, I thought exactly what you're saying Conor's going to look like against Dustin. I thought he was going to look like that against Cerrone. I thought that was going to be a long, drawn-out battle. And Conor, you keep saying like the discipline. We all talk about the money and this and that. But then you look at people like Floyd Mayweather or Canelo. These people who fucking could live on a fucking island they paid for the rest of their life with 9,000 women waking up next to them. But they still going in there. You know, some people have that. And I honestly don't see Conor like be minus that Khabib buildup, because that was weird. That was like random as hell that he got that fight.
Yeah.
He looked half drunk half the time. He was just being stupid. He got way too hot on himself, whatever it is, and he got way too personal. That whole thing I want to just delete from memory. I didn't enjoy any of it. So, but outside of that, especially with the Cerrone fight, he looked incredible. As fast as it was, he looked like old Conor. His stance, his power, his fluidity, everything looked on point. It didn't look like it was damaged because of money. And I think he's going to shock a lot of people. I think he's going to finish Poirier. I just don't think it's going to be in like the first 40 seconds like the first one. I think he's going to, I would say second round finish. Not knockout, TKO.
That's the thing too. It's going to have to be within the first 2 rounds, because I just don't think Conor, I think Conor's going to gas like after the first 2 rounds. To be honest,
Conor's gonna look like a guppy in shark water past the 3rd round.
And you don't want to be that guy against Dustin Poirier. Like no. Dustin Poirier proves that he could be in the worst possible situation, like against Gaethje, and then finish him still. Like in what was it?
Remember when the 5th round started? His coach was like, "How you feeling?" He's like, "I'm having fun, baby. Let's go."
Yeah.
I was just like, "Nigga, do you know what you just did for 20 minutes?"
Yeah, that's a problem. He's a killer now.
If the bell rings for the 3rd round, it's gonna be a whole different fight. This is where we're gonna see how serious is this Conor McGregor fast program working out. Because boy, he passed the 3rd round. I don't want to fight him. I don't want anybody to fight that guy.
But however, if Conor was serious about fighting Pacquiao, I'm pretty sure he was training more rounds to get ready for boxing. So maybe his cardio is way better than we last saw. Who knows?
Yeah, oh yeah. On that regard, yeah.
Yeah.
I worry with this boxing thing because I genuinely believe this whole spout he had with Mayweather fucked up his MMA mind a little bit. When you're training just your hands, when your lethal shit is also your legs too, because he's a fantastic kicker and that's a big part of his game. And you like it when he came back on his first fight, he looked like he forgot how to use his legs almost. He just wanted to box a little bit, and that fucks with you. And like Conor is known when you come out, get ready for that spinning back kick because he's gonna throw it. You know, that's a big part of the setup for his hands. That's how it helps him keep range too. So
did you guys hear? No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't want Conor to even talk about boxing again until like he knows he's really done with MMA.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear? What's his name? Hamzat said if he sees Conor, like it's gonna be problems.
No.
I didn't hear that.
I believe him too. He said make sure that he was like make sure the staff. He's like make sure the staff keeps him away because there's gonna be issues. And you were talking about a guy who like went to Ireland by himself. You understand what I'm saying? To go find Conor to fight him. Like without thinking.
That man looks like a prisoner of war. I would not mess with that man.
I'd watch that fight though at welterweight.
Oh, man.
He looks like the cliche like Russian military bad guy in a movie.
Oh man, yeah.
He's a scary dude.
Yeah. So do you think the UFC is going to be taking crazy precaution to keep them away from each other, knowing because I'm pretty sure they know that Hamzat went to Ireland. I'm pretty sure, like because all of that is out there, like the news travels.
Honestly, I think the UFC is going to let something happen, but not something too crazy, in order to build the fight and narrative. Like Dana White, in my opinion, is someone who's willing to even let the staff get hurt a little bit just to build a bigger story. Just to build a story and build a fight. So, yeah.
How many times he showed that fucking footage of Conor throwing that shit at the bus? Come on.
They're gonna have the press conference in the Dolly storage room.
Dana was in his office like, God, I hope nobody got injured. I'm gonna make so much fucking money off this.
Oh man.
I gotta admit though, like this doesn't seem like a Conor McGregor undercard. I don't want to knock the fights. There's good fighters on it, but it's just like it doesn't feel like a Conor McGregor.
But it's similar. It's similar to when he fought Don Cerrone. That wasn't a great card either.
Yeah.
But didn't they have a really good co-main? Wasn't there a really good co-main there? I don't remember.
I'd have to look that up.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking at the Conor card right now, and I see Jessica I right under Conor's name. If she's the co-main event, that's going to be a travesty.
They're still trying to find her forehead on the mat after that Shevchenko fight, bro. Come on. I don't know, man.
There's some other good fights too. I don't know if it's the Conor card, but Ponzinibbio, I think he's fighting on one of those 3 cards coming up. He's supposed to be fighting.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also Joaquin Buckley too. He's going to be on one of these cards too. Maybe throwing some Mortal Kombat kicks.
Oh yeah. By the way, the co-main on that card with Conor versus Donald was Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington, and then the fight before that was Olenek and Maurice Green. So that was a pretty shitty card.
Yeah. God damn, bro. Like them motherfuckers go suck a dick. That shit was whack.
No. I kind of like Holly Holm, but I don't know, her and Raquel Pennington. I didn't expect that to be like
I wasn't excited
a barn
about
burner.
Yeah, me neither. I have like Raquel Pennington is on my gatekeeper list. She's like just that good, but she don't have the sauce. Holly Holm, even at her age, still kind of has the sauce. I hope she has like a Wonder Boy renaissance, right now. Like just, I love Holly Holm, bro. I love the way she fights. I love her hunger. Like, I love her positive attitude. But even like if you cross her, like when Ronda Rousey pushed her at the face off, you saw Holly like, yo, bitch, step to me, bro. I'll knock your bitch ass out. You know, you saw the hood come out of her a little bit. I like that. I'm so
Okay, so I believe the co-main event for the Poirier card is Jessica I versus Joanne.
No.
Fight of the year candidate. Fight of the year candidate.
Fight of the century. Oh man. I think Batch Kohea is on one of these cards. They should put her as the co-main
Batch.
event.
That's Kohea.
Listen.
Batch.
I think it's a retirement fight. We got to give her some respect.
Oh my God. I mean, Khalil Roundtree versus Marcin is not a bad fight at all.
Martin Tabora?
Yeah. No, Marcin Prachnio. I don't know how to say that name, but it's not a bad. Right. It's not a bad fight. Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas. Not a terrible fight.
Oh yeah.
Brad Tavares and Antonio Carlos Jr. is legit. And Brad Tavares is pretty decent. These are all like, this looks like a fight night to me. This looks like a good fight night. Mm-hmm. But this is UFC 257, bro. This is the Return of the King. You don't put peasants on the card with the king.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure there'll be some crazy last minute fight that they add on to that, like Kevin Holland, something cool.
I think so, because when you look it up, like you can look it up on UFC or you can use Wikipedia. Well, I like the difference because Wikipedia would say TBD, even if the fight card is set up, because it's not done yet. They won't take that TBD off until it's done. So I'm hopeful that we get a decent co-main. And there should be like Max Holloway versus DC or something like that. We need something like that.
DC.
They've been talking shit. They've been at it. Let them go.
Oh man! Speaking of Holloway versus oh my God, Cater. That's going to be probably one of the best fights of the year.
That's another fight I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting, man. I don't know. Max Holloway has that like Conor after training for a boxing match syndrome to me. He has so many tools, but he doesn't really use them because he just likes to brawl. And that's what lost him the fight against Volkanovski. He had so many options when we were watching that fight. I don't know, did we watch that together? I think
we watched the second one.
Yeah, and it was just like there was so many options for him, and we kept calling him out, like, do this, do that, you can do this, but he just wants to throw hands and just get hit, and it's just like, this ain't Rock'em Sock'em Robots, bro. The belt's on the line, man.
Yeah. But I will say he did a good job of staying on his feet. He didn't allow Volkanovski to wrestle him to the ground. Like, he actually did well fighting more defensively than he usually fights. I actually had Holloway winning that fight. It was very close, though. Yeah. It was very, very close, but I had him winning that fight.
And you talking about the second one, right? The second fight.
Yeah.
I agree.
You said you had him winning the fight?
The second one.
I certainly did not, but I did not. But what I am, just mad random because we're talking about him. I want to know if Cejudo is coming back, man. He put that video up calling Volkanovski out in his weird, cringy self, and I miss him. I know I talked a lot of shit about him, but I miss him.
You know, that fight would be interesting to see him fight at that weight division, but I think Dana White doesn't want him to just come back and retire again, like a GSP move.
Of course.
So, like, how do you really work that fight into happening?
He just wants the C4 name. That's what he wants. That's all he wants.
He just wants a C4. He's got to be way too undersized for featherweight. I think Volkanovski just throws him around like it's his younger brother. I don't see that fight going.
We're talking about an Olympic mindset, not just any Olympic mindset, a gold medalist mindset. And we've watched it. We've watched that mindset play out in front of us as well. Like against,
what he did to Moraes this is when he looked unbeatable. What he did to that man, on top of everything else he did, turned me. Like that was that turning moment for me. It was like I was always, whatever, Cejudo, whatever, he's good, but whatever. That shit fucked me up, bro. Because I thought Moraes was gonna body bag his ass. And it was just amazing to watch that man work. And it was just, I can never count him out.
For me, it was seeing how sharp and how quick he is. Like when he was fighting against Dillashaw, when he was fighting against Cruz, it's just like, damn, like you can't really get a step on him. Like he's ahead of them. Plus he seems to still carry power when he gets higher in weight. So I don't know. He's not an easy guy to hit, first of all, and he's gonna hit you.
And also, too, mentally, he's very tough. He's very solid. He has that Olympic mindset. The fact that he went from like being a fighter that won decisions or whatever to becoming a killer, a finisher, in that short period of time shows you a different kind of thinking, man. Different level of thinking.
He kind of, him and Covington are kind of like on the same boat in that regard. You know, Covington was like that boring guy that now is just like breaking records with his fist on Robbie Lawler and shit like that. It's just very similar stuff going on there.
Yeah.
You guys think Colby's gonna fight Masvidal next, or you think Masvidal?
I hope so, man.
No, Colby's talking his shit. Colby's like, yo, he's hiding. He's hiding because Jorge's too busy campaigning for Donald Trump still. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like Jorge's making a big mistake with this Trump shit, man. He's like, all you did was talk shit to Covington about sucking Trump's dick, and then you went right down the same path. And I get it. There's benefits to being the president's friend. I get it. But goddamn, that don't mean every post got to be about conservatives and socialism and all this shit. Like, bro, come on, man. You're losing the grip. You're losing the reason why we love you, man. Have your views, whatever, but that's not what you should be promoting. Ugh.
I think Colby is I think Colby's a nightmare matchup for Masvidal. I think
100%.
Masvidal has no chance at winning that fight. He's gonna have to,
unfortunately
Ben Askren,
agree.
He's gonna have to Ben Askren his skull. That's gonna be his only path to victory.
Nah, I wouldn't say he has no chance because what's his name? Kamaru Usman is more durable than Colby Covington, and Kamaru was getting hit. He was definitely getting hit by Masvidal in the first round, and and in between rounds. So I feel like if Masvidal catches what's his name, he definitely has a puncher's chance against Colby Covington. Definitely.
No, agree. Saying no chance is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
but
honestly. But look, this is how I see it. Colby Covington might get to a point where he's too comfortable with his hands, knowing that he's a volume striker. All it takes is one mistake of getting too comfortable with striking, with like a Masvidal, you can get caught and put to sleep. Or like hurt really bad.
That's what I'm saying. He's right. He's willing to engage in striking more than Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is more like, okay, let me just do what got me to the dance, like after a certain point. But Colby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't Kamaru Usman doesn't mind having a boring fight. He doesn't mind that, like, to maintain what he has. But Colby, like the whole branding thing has definitely transferred into his fighting. Like, he's an exciting fighter. You can't say that he's not an exciting fighter all the time.
I've been told you. I am unfortunately converted. I hate him outside the cage. Inside the cage, I am a fucking fan. I can't help it. And I feel about Colby Covington with Jorge Masvidal the same way I felt about Khabib with Conor. I don't want him to fight him. I just think it's a bad matchup. Granted, Jorge is that good that he can win that fight. Jorge is that dude. And we all know that. And anybody who doesn't know that, turn your fucking camera off, all right? Jorge is that dude.
Yeah.
But it's just when you talk about matchup-wise, I don't see him winning that fight. I hope he does. God.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, the way he beat Woodley, I was like ashamed of being black. That entire fight.
Especially the way Woodley was acting during the lead up,
So Woodley, what's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. Black Lives Matter. So Woodley.
Black Lives Matter.
the whole time, I'm like, that was the.
As I'm watching that press conference, I was like, please let the old Woodley come in, please. But no, he goes against the cage and he's just like, oh my God, people are throwing punches at me. No shit, Sherlock.
Oh man, Woodley. Who's he fighting next? Probably someone in Bellator.
He's still talking shit about his resurgence. So,
You fight Yoel next.
Oh my god.
Listen, Willie still believes that he's still a good fighter. Like the dude, like, what happened to all his tools? He like the dude can kick well, he can move well. What the hell happened? Is it something mental in his head? Like his rap career?
I'm telling you, I agree. I feel like something outside the cage has forced him to not want to engage. I think I've thought for a while it's this recurring shoulder injury that's stopping him from throwing that right hand that we know he has. That I think that is there's a legit connection to your mind with that makes you feel he's broken his labia how many times already just from throwing a fucking haymaker, you know? That fucks with you. It makes you think twice about doing it, you know? And that was his main tool. Yes, he's a great wrestler and all this stuff, but that was his main tool. And it's just like from one fight to the next, I think his last 3 fights, he fought them all the same. He just comes and he just stands there, does a little thing, moves back towards the cage, and then just stands there.
And that's crazy.
That's
it's crazy to think that he's that limited when he was able to beat Wonder Boy the way he did, and Darren Till, two guys who are like the most two guys who are extremely confusing and create a lot of stress when you're fighting them. Like for him to be able to, especially Wonder Boy, like you know, especially seeing how Wonder Boy has looked lately, and to think Woodley beat him twice is insane.
Twice. well, the first time, wait, was that a draw the first time, or was it?
Yeah, it was a draw the first time, but I mean he was able to rest. He was using his wrestling tools. I noticed he's not, using that, so I don't know.
Man, like Woodley's, it's a boring fighter to watch. Like I don't care if he fights ever again. Like the way he fights now, like no combinations, no jab, nothing at all.
I agree, bro. I agree. And I was a Woodley fan for so long. I still am. He's a great guy outside the cage and everything. I still am. I don't like what I'm seeing from him. He's at that point where it's just like, bro, figure this out. You're gonna do this or not? Or just go down the Jake Paul route, start fighting Wiz Khalifa or something like that. Who knows? Just figure this out, bro. Because top level competition is not looking like anyone he's beaten. Anyone.
Even against someone like Jeff Neal or like what do you call it, Luque. I think they would murder him right now.
Yep.
Right now,
Ironically, though, if you think about it, if he does want to actually fight again, Jeff Neal would be a great fight because Jeff Neal just lost. Woodley's lost about 32 fights already, so it's like that'd be a nice little matchup there. And if Jeff Neal murks him, it'll be a nice little time to retire, buddy. Goodbye.
Yeah,
I'm still waiting on the mixtape from Woodley.
It's funny, I'll beat your ass is still one of my gym songs. I listen at the gym all the time. That shit gets me hyped. I'll be looking at a guy taking too long on the machine. He's like, "Oh, beat your ass!" Like shit. Shit gets me hyped.
I still haven't actually heard the song.
I love it. It's corny, but I love it. That song and Roy Jones Jr.'s song.
Y'all must have
forgot.
Y'all must have forgot is good, but the other one he has, Can't Be Touched.
Yeah, that really gets me.
Remember the video? That's my shit right there, bro. You haven't heard that one, Steve?
Haven't heard that either.
Oh man, you got to make sure you're gonna work out when you hear it because that's so. And it's considered like like everybody talked when Woodley was gonna rap, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna be like terrible like all the other fighters that try to be rappers like Roy Jones." And I'm like, hold up, that song was hot. Can't Be Touched was a good song.
Yeah.
It was rapped by a man with CTE, and it was pretty good, man. Fuck.
It's a new genre, CTE rap.
It's all rap today, but anyway.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. Because I'm born with CTE, bro. He ain't lying though, man. He ain't lying.
That's all rap.
I hate rap so much right now.
Now, yeah.
What do you think? Woodley should come out to for his next fight. You think he should try? Because remember, his losses started when he came out to "I'll beat your ass." So I don't know. I think he should come out to like R&B or something. Come out to like Genuine.
Maybe some country music. Switch it up.
Do like Michelle Pajeda, like while the guy's oiling his face, start twerking on him and shit. Be like, start grinding. Pajeda kills me when he does that. When the guy's putting oil, he's just like, he's grinding on him. Like, bro, come on now.
Oh, you know what? So like speaking of crowds, like is the Conor fight going to be in front of a crowd or no audience?
I highly doubt it. Because the only way they're going to do a crowd is in a stadium, not in an arena. And Dana White has already explicitly said he's not doing a stadium until he can fill it up, which is stupid.
So that might play a role in how the fight goes too. As far as no crowd, no energy there, yeah.
Conor fought Cerrone with a crowd? He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah, I mean, Conor without the clout. We got to see what he's going to look like. It's a good question. I just don't understand Dana's, and I know there's a reason. I know I'm nowhere near as smart as this man is. He knows what he's doing. But it's just like, if you look about it, he generally does arenas. Arenas go anywhere from 10 to maximum 18, maybe 20,000 seats. That's what he generally does. A stadium can go upwards of 50 to 60,000 seats.
Yeah.
If you fill up a stadium halfway, that's still more tickets you're selling than in an arena.
Yeah.
So why not? What is exactly stopping you? I don't get it. It's just even Conor spoke to what was his name, Jerry Jones, the Cowboys owner, and Jerry Jones is down. He was like, I would be honored to host that fight for you guys, and Dana's just like, hell, fucking no, nigga. Like, why?
It's probably not. It's probably the cost of a stadium is probably a lot different from the cost of an arena.
I agree.
That might be a factor.
It's had to change because of the pandemic, though. I mean, it's had to.
Yeah, but I mean, Dana White's very cheap. Like the reason why Pettis left to PFL is because I'm sure the contract was terrible. He's like, dude, what is
100%.
Like, I'm Pettis. Like
100%.
I'm Mr. Wheaties,
And that's what I was gonna say. Pettis knows if he stays with a Reebok contract, he's never gonna make. He's gonna make more money off of his sponsors in one fight than he probably made his last 5 fights together.
Yeah.
Who's more marketable than Anthony Pettis? That's a good-looking motherfucker right there, bro. That's a handsome motherfucker right there. It's just like I remember when he was on top, I was like, "Yo, this dude is gonna like make so much money, bro, so much money." And then he just started getting murked left and right, and he fucked it up.
Where's he now? PFL?
Yeah.
PFL
is a good. I believe it was PFL that I went to. I think it was on I think it was like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago on New Year's Eve. They had one in Madison Square Garden. I had gotten tickets out of nowhere. Like a friend hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I can't use these tickets, but I need them to be used. Could you get them?" And I was like, "Who are you talking to here? Give me those tickets, boy." And I brought 3 people with me, and it was a blast. But there were, I think, 6 fights on the card, and each fighter won $1 million for the win.
That's why. Yep.
And about 5 out of the 6 fights sucked. So it was just like, and it were like, some of them look like novice fighters, and they're winning $1 million. While this guy is fighting a number 1 contender fight, probably winning $400,000, $300,000.
Yeah.
That's hustling backwards right there.
Yeah.
It's that's why this lawsuit thing is just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the UFC side. I don't know if I'm on the other side. Because I'm just like, I want these fighters to get they fucking pay, bro. These dudes work hard, bro. And this Reebok shit, granted, the uniforms look cool. I liked how everything looks very organized. And I get Dana White not wanting the Condom Depot signs on their ass. I get that. But it's just like, that's just their prerogative, Let the fighters make their money.
That's why Bellator is so cool. Like, what's her name? The ex-champion. McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
Like the girl from Hawaii. You know the champion in Bellator, she was like a flyweight champion. McFarlane, yeah. But if you watch her weigh-ins, like she would come out like sometimes you can see a freaking camel toe, she have a wedge. I'm like, yo, these girls are wearing whatever they're comfortable with wearing. In the MMA, in UFC, it's like a certain like you have to wear this one outfit. All the girls look the same. Everyone has the same outfits on. It's kind of boring. And you see Ryzen, you have people in.
It's boring, but
outfits.
It also looks super professional.
Yeah, Yeah, but the
So that's why I
personality is
understand
kinda,
Dana's point.
yeah.
100%.
Oh,
I'm on your
you know
team with
what?
it. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I understand Dana's point of view.
You know what would be great in 2021? A cross promotional event. Bellator, UFC
Oh my
one,
God,
UFC
yes.
something. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. Like have a tournament to see who's
They're never gonna do it.
And make specific belts for it.
They're
You know,
never
they're
gonna
not
do
they're
it.
not gonna win the UFC belt. They're not gonna win the Bellator belt. It's to make a cross generational belt, like
Like a unified,
yeah,
thing.
have
Yeah.
like a promotion, like promotion with like on top of Yatu, and they can make the belt. You know, work with an outside promotion and just do some crazy shit. Why not? Because it's like that's not like creating a circus fight, like having Cyborg's best friend fight an old lady. You know, that's ridiculous. We're talking about a champion versus a champion. You know. Who doesn't want it? Bellator's got some fucking animals over there that should be fighting our champions. Let's just keep it a buck, you know? Because Bellator has that stigma that they have all our leftovers. They have all the UFC's leftovers. I say ours like I work for UFC, but they have all the UFC's leftovers, you know? And it's just, yeah, a lot of dudes go over there, but they're top of the chain. We've gotten people from them too, you know? A lot of our best fighters came from other organizations. You know?
I don't
Speaking
see
of which,
I don't see the
No, go
UFC
ahead, go
ever
ahead.
doing that.
I mean,
Because it like, you know, what would be better. So I don't see the UFC doing that because they have too much to lose. They don't want to give these other promotions any kind of, you know, attention or anything. But I think what would be cool is if they had MMA in the Olympics, have that every 4 years, and have fighters from every promotion trying to win gold medals. That I think would be
well, that's what
that
Khabib
would-
is trying to do.
yeah.
Khabib is actively trying to. I just don't know how. With the Olympics is so specific on the events. You know, like it's a like I would understand a jiu-jitsu Olympics or a wrestling Olympics like they have, but mixed martial arts is like a combination of so many different things that I don't know how they would do that in the Olympics. I don't know. I'm not saying it can't be done. It's just the Olympics to me is such a specific talent event. You know, like you're there because at this specific thing you're fantastic at. You know, because if you put an MMA Olympics, then you still got like wrestling in the Olympics, but wrestling is in MMA. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's kind of weird. But I mean, I see why Khabib wants to do it, and shit, I hope they do. Why not? If they can make more sense out of it than I am, shit, go for it. Let's do it. Because that will but there should also be like a clause in every promotion's contract that no matter what organization you fight for, you should be able to go to the Olympics. Because you know UFC ain't gonna allow that. The only way we're gonna get a cross generational or something like that happen is when Dana White retires. That's when we're gonna get that. Dana White is what's blocking all this. You don't want none of that. Dana White is fucking Tim Cook. You ain't getting in this box, Papa. This is us and y'all out there. And that's it. Y'all Android niggas, stay over there. If you think about it, the UFC is the Apple of the fight industry. They market better than anyone. They have one fucking phone and it's marketed better than any other phone on planet Earth. They make more money than any of them. They pay their employees shit. Well, not the employees. The employees are well paid. They're fighter shit. But it's just, I don't know. It's gonna be weird if the whole scenery changes in the UFC and all of these companies are now open to different promotions jumping in and doing all this stuff. That's what low key ruined boxing. There's 980 weight classes. There's like 10 belts in each weight class. And there's 1,000 different promotions. Nobody knows who is what, you know? Like, this guy, the 145-pound champion is fighting. Which one? The WICBO, some shit like that. Like, who the fuck are these people, bro? You know? You got Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are both champions, you know? And Anthony Joshua has like 5 belts and Tyson Fury has 1 physical belt and 1, I always forget, what's the name of that? When you were the last unified champion. It's like not a legacy champion. I forgot what it's called. Damn it. But it's like you are a champion no matter what. Even if you don't have a physical belt. If you start fighting again, you still are technically a champion. So he had that title already, but then he took the the ABC belt from fucking Deontay Wilder. So I don't know. I'm worried about it becoming boxing, but at the same rate, as fast growing as it is, and how many fighters are now on the come up, something's gonna have to give. Something. And if if Dana White does not want to let up, he's got to start adding more weight classes, man. He's got to stop the bullshit. Got to make this 165, change welterweight to 175, make everything 10 pounds apart. Make a 195 class.
Women's lightweight, everything.
Yeah, make
All
a
right,
195 class.
So you got 1 minute left. Any final
Probably
thoughts?
less than that. So happy holidays,
Final
everybody.
thoughts? Amanda Nunes versus Jake Paul. First round knockout. Jake Paul goes home, cries to his fucking mother, and we call it a day. I'm sick of this nigga already. But nah, Ben Askren, don't embarrass us. That's my final thoughts. Don't
Happy
fucking
holidays.
embarrass us.
Happy holidays. We will see you guys in the new year. Peace out.
See you guys.
Peace out.